welcome. If you're new here, I'm a super senior and I got paired to live with freshmen.
We're telling our ghost stories. Don't be scared. Enjoy.
When I was growing up, my dad traveled. My mom and I were always hanging out in her room. For the most part, we were watching scary things every night. That was our thing. These nights, my dad was out of town. My mom and I were doing our thing, hanging out in her room, and for a reason tonight, we were not watching something scary. We were not at that point in the night yet. That is like pre-bedtime adventure. We were pre-bedtime. My mom has an armoire. My parents, their surfaces are clean. Because when I was little, they had their own photography business. So it is not abnormal for us to have memory cards sitting out around the TV area. We're sitting there watching our wholesome, beautiful show. We're comfy, we're munching, watching TV, and all of a sudden, you just see this little plastic piece was yeeted to Egypt. Didn't tip over like a little doop. It did not avalanche fall. Like, and my mom and I are looking at each other like, we really didn't know what to think. That was weird. I don't know what that was, but that was weird.
I was raised on scary ghost stories and hauntings and stuff like that, so I was always very desensitized to it. Growing up, we had a Ouija board that was passed down through my family. My mom was extremely spiritual and in tune with the afterlife and everything revolving spirits. So one time when I was young, me and my mom were playing with a Ouija board. My mom was very protective over this Ouija board and she didn't ever want me to play without her. So one particular day after school, we decided we were gonna play it, just me and my mom. We went into my room, we sat down, we lit some candles, all of them pretty far across the room from us, just giving us a little bit of light, but nowhere near us. We turned off the lights and we started playing. And we played for a good 30 minutes, but the board was giving off really negative energy. The planchette just kept sliding around aggressively, and it seemed as though whatever we were communicating with was just not positive and not having a good time with us. So my mom eventually just got this really bad feeling. That, along with whatever the board was communicating or trying to communicate, she decided it was time to say goodbye. And we said goodbye. She turned on the lights, and I will never forget the look on her face that day. It was a look of absolute shock and terror, which I rarely ever see my mom get scared, so it was not something that I was used to seeing. She looked at me and she just said, "Oh my gosh, your mouth." And so I'm obviously very confused. I run to the bathroom, I look in the mirror, and I will never forget what I saw. A thinly, perfectly drawn circle all the way around my mouth. It was terrifying, scariest thing I've ever seen. It was perfectly drawn, so there's no way it could have been smoke, and it came off as soon as I wiped my hand across my face. We have no explanation for it, but that paired with the negative energy and whatever we were communicating with that day, my mom said I was never allowed to play it without her again, and I never played it again. It scarred me. I was terrified, and I am terrified now, and I don't think I'll ever play the Ouija board again. I honestly wouldn't have believed it if I heard someone else say it, and there's no good explanation other than it's tied to whatever we were experiencing with that board. But it happened to me, and it's something that I'm never gonna forget, and truly the scariest thing.